Well, good morning. I'm Don Nutbeam from the University of Sydney in Australia, and I'm really sorry I'm not able to join you this morning. But I was asked to speak a little about the work of WHO in health literacy, and in particular work around a very recent conference held in Shanghai on the future of health promotion. Some of you may be aware that WHO organise conferences every 3 or 4 years to take stock of scientific progress in health promotion and consider strategically how to advance into the future. The conference in Shanghai was particularly important for those of us who care a lot about health literacy, in the sense that it was the first time, I think, that WHO have highlighted the importance of health literacy as a determinant of health and have identified it as one of their priorities for the next few years in terms of improving health and assisting WHO in making its contribution to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The Shanghai Declaration, as it's called, highlighted the fact that good health literacy is fundamentally built upon equitable access to education and isn't something that you acquire at school for the rest of your life, but something that's built over time as people's health needs change and what they need to do in response to those needs changes. The document itself highlights 3 important priorities that I think are prompted from the discussions that occurred at the conference itself. Firstly, and perhaps not surprisingly, it places some emphasis on the great potential of digital technology to improve the way in which we reach people and communicate effectively about health matters and health literacy. Secondly, it strongly advocates for all of its member states to develop national and regional strategies in response to the challenges of health literacy, and of course highlights those countries that have already taken action in this regard, like the United States, the host country of that particular conference, China as well. A number of European countries and countries like Australia have all now developed strategic responses to the challenges of health literacy, and the document really supports that. Finally, the document highlights the importance of creating what it calls consumer environments that are supportive of health literacy. And in particular, it highlights the fact that so much of what drives ill health in our populations these days is driven by the commercial determinants of health, and emphasizing the importance of people understanding more critically these commercial determinants of health as a part of our efforts to improve health literacy. So really putting the focus in a balanced way, I think, on helping people understand what they might do for themselves to improve their health, manage illness, and understanding better the wider social determinants, particularly the impact of commercial forces and the way in which they determine health. As ever with these WHO documents, of course, they are global in their nature, they're light on specifics, and it's really important that at conferences like HARC we have the opportunity to talk in more specific terms about how best to respond to these challenges. To its credit, WHO has had a particular focus over the last 18 months in developing a community of practice that's enabled it to support others in sharing their practical experiences in improving health literacy, specifically as it relates to non-communicable disease control. And for those of you not already connected to this community of practice, I could certainly encourage you to take a look at it in the future. But for now, I can only encourage you to have a look at the Shanghai Declaration, look at what WHO is doing on a global basis to support the development of health literacy, and encourage you to think about how we convert these really encouraging priority from WHO into something practical that benefits the patients and communities that we all look to serve. Thanks very much for asking me to join you this morning.